Right, for those of you who don't know me, because I do know quite a lot of faces in the room, I'm Sandra Gillam. I'm the current IT Services Manager at Keele University. I've been at Keele for too many years, probably 23 years, but I've worked in IT services for the past 18 in various roles across IT. I was told not to tap the lectern. This is really difficult for me because I'm a bit of a finger drummer, so I'm just going to have to hold my hands somewhere else, I think. So my main role at Keele is the deployment of the ITSM tool that we use, and we use Top Desk, and looking after all things that are customer and service focused. So this is the beautiful campus that I go to work to every morning. It's based in 600 acres of beautiful parklands and woodlands and lakes. We've got around 12,000 students, of which 3,000 live on campus in halls of residence, and we have around 1,500 staff. And for those of you who are thinking, where the hell is Keele, because most people do, Keele University is the only village university in the UK, about 6 miles down the road from here. And named after a village in North Staffordshire. In fact, the university is bigger than the village, a lot bigger. And contrary to belief, not the service station on the M6 between junction, 15 and 16. Is that right? Might have got that wrong, actually. So, just to be clear today, when I'm talking about Keele services, it is not the service station, okay? So we've got that. And just so we clear up any misunderstandings when I start talking about a festival, it's not a festival like this, although that might be more interesting. And I don't think you'd want any of my photographs on there from festivals, because they all include bottles or wine in my hands, so maybe not. So, Top Desk asked me to do this last Wednesday after I'd just returned from a holiday for 3 weeks. You could have asked me to go to the moon, I'd have probably done it because I was so chilled and relaxed, so it was not a problem for me. So I'm here to talk about our digital festival and how we've taken a part of it this year. So the Keele Digital Festival 2018 was our second digital festival. In 2017, the university held a digital festival, invited staff to take part and demonstrate their use of technology in teaching and learning. It had a real emphasis on teaching and learning, so it was presentations by academics for academics. That really isn't what a digital festival is all about. So, as we all know, technology is the backbone of every business. So, we were going to get involved this year. I was going to make sure we were going to get involved. So the festivals are organised by our learning technology officers. They're not part of the IT services. They actually sit within our Keele Institute for Innovation and Teaching Excellence. And this year, they did invite us to the festival. They invited us to the organising committee. I think possibly it's because we invited them on a few curry nights, actually, but, you know, it worked. So we started to hold fortnightly meetings, and they started in February to organise this festival. And this year it was going to be a 3-day event. It was going to be held at the beginning of June, and it was going to be attended by not only academic staff, but professional services staff and students, to discover, learn and debate new and existing technology at Keele. And I'll skip a slide. So the committee drew up a list of a criteria of who we were going to invite to come along and talk, and what they were going to talk about. So as you can see, a lot of these were still teaching heavy. So inspiring students' use of digital platforms and tools for collaboration, debating online productivity, using digital technology to create active learning environments and cultures, deploying technology to enhance student support and student experience. That is exactly where we sat, although they weren't sure about that, to be fair. They had to convince them a little bit. Disruption and delight, IT could do that too. The risks, uncertainties and rewards of using digital. And we threw in a wild card, so basically anything, as long as it's got a technological theme, you could come along and talk about it. So the first day of the expo, the first day saw an expo taking place and digital labs in our exhibition space. We'd invited Blackboard, PebblePad, Microsoft HoloLens along, and we got 35 presentations scheduled in 2 strands over 3 days. So pretty much something for everybody, whether you were academic, professional services, or a student. We deployed student ambassadors as part of the expo to go around and speak to people and try and get questions for our Q&A sessions. The students sat there for about an hour and a half and made a big list, 3 sides of A4 list of all the questions that they got. That was just 2 of them. Thank you. We had some great talks arranged. Not only speakers from outside the university, there were talks on using Snagit. Well, Snagit's a tool that we use at the service desk to produce instructional videos. So it was great to see another case study of how a lecturer within the medical school was using it to do instructional videos for her students so that she could show them a 3D diagram and actually break the diagram down for them as part of their learning. We did workshops showing people how to use Google Apps. Students engaging with academic staff about lecture capture, about what they actually use the videos for, whether it was revision, lecture review, or because they didn't attend it at 9 a.m. lecture. So that was quite interesting to get the view of the student. We had a student-led panel, giving staff a chance to ask students questions about technology and their understanding and use of technology. We had talks about creating electronic versions of filing systems that were being used in schools to file students' notes away and administration. And we had a really good demonstration of Microsoft HoloLens. And if anybody hasn't seen Microsoft HoloLens, I suggest you go and have take a look, and it'd be nice in the future to see a presentation done at this conference, because you could really see it coming into IT support and being able to, it's a virtual reality system that uses holograms. And I was thinking inductions for staff. They arrive, we give them some glasses to put on, and they can go away and they can have an instructional video at their desk or at the printer, which they've never seen before and they certainly don't know how to use, because they have to make 3 calls to the service desk because it's not working the way that the one worked in their last organisation. So it'd be really, really good to see that in the future. So there were lots going on. So when I first suggested the festival to my team back in February, thankfully for me, the team embraced the whole concept of the digital festival. Just excuse me. And from my view of the digital festival was an ideal opportunity for us to promote our self-service desk and our self-service portal. But they come up with a whole load of ideas that I hadn't really thought about. They wanted to have a stand there that they could do free digital health checks on BYOD. We've got a USB amnesty going on where we are encouraging staff to hand over their old USB sticks for an encrypted one, free of charge. So they wanted to take that out to the students. And I was quite keen that they got involved and took their ideas forward. So I encouraged that and took it back to the committee, and the committee said, yeah, that sounds great, let's do it. At this point, it might be worth pointing out that the IT service desk team is made up of 6 members of staff. We've got a service support officer, team leader, an IT graduate, and 3 IT advisors. So we're not a huge team. I was conscious that contributing so much would put them under pressure. After all, this was on top of their day job, but they absolutely wanted to take part in this, and I wasn't really going to stand in their way. I think I'm probably... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I got click written through my notes and I just ignored it. So basically, we saw the festival as an opportunity for us to get the self-service portal launched. They launched the digital festival in February. We were nowhere near ready, but we were going to do it. So we have 4 months to complete. We've got icons and pictures to agree. We've got colour schemes. We were trying to automate requests. We've got customer journeys through the portal to work through. And we've got knowledge items to write. And I wasn't going to mention it, but I will. And GDPR. I was involved in so much work with GDPR, I almost forgot I was a service desk manager at one point. So we were working with the teams to ensure that, you know, we met the 72-hour deadlines for breaches and things like that, and making sure we could automate things through the service portal. So that sounds okay, but we weren't agreeing that with just IT. So for those who've seen me talk before, I talked an awful lot about our journey and how we've developed the service desk at Keele. And going back to 2013, we started with records and exams, and we've got a whole load of services on there now. So when I start talking about self-service portal, I'm also talking that I've got to agree with over 400 operators within our service desk tool. I've got to agree with them that they were going to contribute something to this portal. It was not just an IT tool. But they were as keen as we were, thankfully. My big question was, would we be able to deliver this? After all, we've got training to do for staff out in, you know, finance and the library. We've got to show them how to put knowledge items on. We've got to define some of their services for them. But, you know, getting the knowledge contributors, everybody within every department, I can say, were really keen and were seeing that they could use this in some way to reduce the number of service requests that they were getting. For IT, we'd seen a 22% rise in service requests over the past year. We absolutely needed to do something. We couldn't continue the way we were. We knew where a lot of the service requests were coming from, and it was around awareness for GDPR, and I'm sure everybody else is facing this as well. When people used to get a phishing email, they used to just mark it as spam and ignore it. Now they have to tell the service desk about it, which is great. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but again, it all adds to the number of inquiries we've got to deal with. We'd introduced something called two-factor authentication across all our systems, so we were getting increased requests from that. So we were suffering from increase in service requests, so the other departments were as well. We'd had an increase in number of students, so it was pretty much going to fall that we were going to get increases in service requests. So designing the portal using icons and pictures and a colour scheme, we needed to agree this with the others. So I held a 30-minute meeting with managers from each of the departments, and I said, I'm not going to sit down at this meeting. We were used to these in IT, but other departments found it quite strange. I'm not going to sit down in this meeting. This is what we need to agree. If we don't agree today, this is the consequence of it. And I just need buy-in from you all. And actually, they all thanked me at the end of the meeting and said, can't we have all meetings at Keele like this? It'd be far more efficient. So, you know, we're on a win-win here. And they set to work developing some of their knowledge items. Sorry, I've just lost my track. Right, okay. So the self-service portal, as I said, we'd had an increase in service requests. We wanted to do automation. We wanted to make sure that some of our service requests were not even seen by the service desk. We've got to get that automation in place. We've got to get some efficiency there and the engagement, and we wanted to improve the customer experience. So calling on my team to do all this was a big ask, but they wanted to do it. They wanted to take part in the digital festival. They saw that this was something that we could really promote as part of our digital festival. And I think I called on skills that I'd not used from some of my staff before. So it was a great development opportunity for them. Project management, knowledge management, design skills, process mapping, organisation skills, presentation skills, and time management skills. Not that I want them all to go off and get other jobs, but it's something great to put on their CVs now. They saw the importance from the onset. They are the front line. They wanted to do it. So, you know, and gain the skills along the way and the support from me and our staff development team as well, where there was a little gap in the skills, or they recognised that they got a gap in the skills. They went and had a look at what courses we've got available in-house. So, June the 5th came along, and we got 1,100 knowledge items, 556 icons prepared. I must say we haven't used them all yet. I've got a great designer in my team. He's our service support officer, but he loves doing anything when it comes to design. I asked marketing to take a role in designing our portal for us, and the answer was, sorry, did you say 4 months? And I said, yeah, 4 months. No, we can't make that. There's no way we can meet that deadline. I said, I'm asking for just some tiles designed and a new header for the service portal. Not in 4 months. So it's a good job I had these skills in-house. So we got 140 forms, each of them were touched. We were using forms before within Top Desk, but we had to go back in and revisit some of those forms to make sure that they were fit for purpose and included a statement about privacy on some of them. So that's what the 5th of June looked like. So we got a banner designed, we were there at the expo. It was great. The team were around, they got to look at some of the digital things that were around them. And I got to speak with a couple of the team members and people from other services about how great our self-service portal was. But actually what I did was I created a hunger for self-service. I found myself not talking to them about how the self-service portal works, but how they could make their services self-service. So on the first day of the digital festival, I was only there for the first day, and then I cleared off and went on holiday for 3 weeks and left the team to it. But it actually filled my diary up with people who said, when you get back off leave, I need to speak to you. The comments we had back was, we better plan my department's move to Top Desk, which was great for us. The new opportunities to promote and improve self-service that our team nor the university had thought about before. Again, great for IT to be there promoting this. Thankfully for me, I'd got an excellent graduate who was project managing this for me. And he continued the self-service portal. He continued doing the promotion of the self-service portal with a presentation called Managing Knowledge in Self-Service World. That was a nice way for him to round up the 4 months of work that we'd done as a team. It was nice for him to be able to show off and the actual work that had been undertaken. And we also invited a guest speaker from another university who is in the audience, who I hope she doesn't mind I use that photograph. So we invited a guest speaker from another university, because sometimes people within a university don't always trust the people who are there in that university. They want to have reinforcement from somewhere else. And absolutely, they got that reinforcement. So having the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine along to come and talk to staff within a very hot room, I believe, yeah, so they were there and they reinforced that, so that was a big thank you. We got comments back about the presentation. Very informative, particularly the session delivered by the visitors from London. I did ask if any of my team had written that, and they said no. Well, they haven't just... So I think you need to take that one, Caroline. Certainly, it was a big favour from them, and I certainly need to repay them. Or probably that's what I'm doing today, actually. So, did somebody mention a festival? Yeah, they did. It was a fantastic opportunity for us. It was a fantastic opportunity for my team to learn new skills and take them out of probably a little bit out of their comfort zone and actually get them out and about in the university to actually speak to other people. Yes, it put the team under pressure. There was a lot of days where we were sort of fighting the day job, where we were trying to get incidents done and service requests done. But they did it. There was a few of them determined that they were going to stay after time, even though I said, do you know, have you got home to go to? And they go, no, I just need to get these next 5 knowledge items written, which was great. But, you know, they actually took it head on, and, you know, we've come a long way. So, are we on the right lines? I was sitting at home one night reading Twitter, as you do, and spotted a tweet from one of our lecturers who actually does some lecturing in computer science. And I know is very interested in service management. And he'd asked how he could get a site license for Snagit. So I picked up on that. I said, check out the self-service portal. I knew that that was one of the processes we'd automated. I knew that as soon as he pressed that request button on that form, he was going to get an email straight back with how to download it, where to download it from. And, you know, and his comment there was, thank you, that's exactly how this should work. Very impressed. So I think that was worth sharing. So it's probably a bit shorter than it should have been, really. But. So, if somebody invites you to a festival, absolutely go. It's a real opportunity for IT. It's really good to have something to show off and to demonstrate there. But even if you haven't, it's really good to actually just talk about your services. And it's been a great experience and a great development opportunity for the team. So I'm going to leave the last word, if I can get this video to work, to our graduate, who I believe is joining another university in the middle of August. So you're very lucky. Is it the middle one? Is it not?
There's no video there.
There's no video?
No, not there. Should there have been?
Yeah.
Did you embed it or did you send it?
No, it was YouTube link.
There's no link there.
Is there no link?
Sorry.
Well, I won't leave the last word to the, sorry about that, technology, eh? But what Jamie basically said in his video was, if you go on the road of promoting your self-service portal, make sure that you've got all your processes, you've designed all your services, and you absolutely have got everything in place before somebody says to you, your launch date is in 4 months. Just make sure it's there first. So that's what Jamie said in that video. So, sorry about that. I was hoping that would work, but never mind. He'll be gutted about that. He's in Scotland at the moment, so he will be gutted about it. So thank you for that. I'm happy to take some questions.
Do you have any questions from the audience? No? Yes? Thank you.
The knowledge information you've put online, is that Word? Is there anything video or?
So all the knowledge items sit within Top Desk. We have put some links to videos in there. We tend to use the knowledge items as answers to service requests and incidents as well. So it's not only searchable by the end user, we use it as a tool to to answer questions as well. So it's mainly words, but there are video links within the words.
Right at the back, Andy. Go on, run. We chose Andy to do this job because he does a lot of running in his spare time.
Sure, the air conditioning isn't working here.
Thanks for that, Jenny. Appreciate it. I just wanted to ask, in relation to the knowledge articles, how do you get your team to continually update the knowledge articles? Because that's a concern that I have. We're in a very similar situation to you, and I realise the strength of the self-services to knowledge articles.
Yeah, okay, so we've done a couple of things there. If it's not there, it needs to be, is the words that I use to them. And we've also, obviously under the pressures of your day job, you haven't always got time to break off from what you're doing and writing a knowledge item. So we've actually put a status within Top Desk that I can run a report on, probably weekly, and we can look at what knowledge items are required. So, yeah, we've got a way of identifying what's required.
Right at the front.
He doesn't have to run, I'm quite loud. No. In regards to the knowledge-based articles,
Yeah.
does it have it sort of set with expiry dates, so they have to be reviewed, or are they owned by particular people? Because that's the difficulty we've got, where I will say at the moment the majority of the service desk ones are owned by me, so they come to me to review and update them. They do go to other people to then review my updates and make sure that everything has been done correctly, add any extra information, but do you have it set as expiry dates every few months, every year?
We haven't got expiry dates on it, but we were responsible for the web anyway, so our web pages were the service desk team's responsibility. So we were used to reviewing the web pages. The one thing we've got now is everything in one place, so we're just in the process now of stripping back our web pages so that the only thing that's on our out-facing web pages is just what is absolutely necessary. So how to connect to Edge Your Own, this is our opening times. I think that's what we'll be at. Probably some policies as well. So, okay.
Okay, we're going to wrap up there. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Sandra.